This week on America's Next Top Leader, CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz.
We described Howard Schultz of Starbucks in terms of his personality, values, and motivation. Schultz's personality is mainly defined by his intuition, as shown by his strong vision, creativity, and openness.
Regarding values, Schultz's terminal values include achievement, equality, and happiness, and his instrumental values include responsibility, honesty, and helpfulness. In order to motivate employees to create a better company, Schultz provides good benefits, uses workplace recognition, and fosters close-knit relationships between workers. Howard Schultz is truly a leader, not just a manager. According to John Cotter, being a leader by necessity involves three activities: setting a direction for the organization, aligning people with that direction through communication, and motivating people in action. By studying various examples, it soon becomes obvious that Schultz does all three actions and, in fact, does them very well. Early in the study of leadership, behavioral theories were created. First, Kurt Lewin described three possible styles of leadership. Schultz definitely fits the democratic style, which is characterized by welcoming feedback and opinions from followers but retaining the ability to make final decisions and the responsibility for those decisions. Schultz commonly holds brainstorming sessions with people.
You guys have any other questions?
Trying to decide how to get Starbucks back on track financially and culturally, he held one with what he described as a cross-section of leaders and partners, and was happy to hear others' anxieties and questions regarding Starbucks.
Alright guys, there's nothing to worry about. We're gonna be fine.
Hiring employees, he actually looks for applicants who will not only generate ideas, but will not be afraid to communicate them and will rebel against the status quo. Schultz does, however, ultimately take responsibility for all consequences for these decisions. The next behavioral theory focuses on whether the leader's style is based on consideration or initiating structure. A leader who practices consideration focuses on forming supportive and close relationships which lead to trust and respect. A leader who has an initiating structure style focuses more on production and establishes how things are accomplished. Howard Schultz seems to have a good balance of these two styles. On the one hand, Schultz very much values and believes in his employees. He set out to create a company that respected its workers, and as earlier as the late 80s, he provided Starbucks part-time employees with comprehensive health care insurance as well as equity in the form of stock options, benefits he vows he will never eliminate. He loves the connection that emerges through them. Schultz believes in the importance of human resources. Schultz once wrote, "If companies fail, it is due to problems inside the company, not issues in the marketplace." Schultz also, however, is production-oriented and strives to make sizable profits for Starbucks. He's not afraid to make painful changes necessary and wrote, quote, "Companies pay a price when their leaders ignore things that may be fracturing their foundation," end quote. Schultz acknowledges that his employees do have stressful jobs and do work very hard.
The leadership grid is related to this through its two dimensions of attitude: concern for results and concern for people. On this grid, based on the examples already given, Schultz would probably be a 9-9, or a team manager, meaning he is extremely high in both qualities. A team manager is good at motivating and is able to adapt to changes if need be. This also suggests that his employees are efficient and very loyal to the company. Finally, Schultz demonstrates inspirational leadership by being both a transformational leader and an authentic leader. A transformational leader is able to motivate people to perform at high levels. Howard Schultz inspires people with his poor to powerful background story, attitude of no person being better than another, and strong vision that has guided him in Starbucks from the start. He has natural qualities that make him powerful. He also once wrote of the need to be courageous and do what is right, despite reason, common sense, and others. Schultz is an authentic leader too, meaning he has a strong set of values that he adheres to. He has stated that he wanted to build a company with a set of values and guiding principles that were as important as the equity of the brand or the product we were selling, and that believes in acting ethically even if it costs more. Howard Schultz has proven during his many years at Starbucks that he is truly a leader, not merely a manager, and in fact he is an inspirational leader many look up to.
Moving on to ethics, Howard Schultz has also changed Starbucks by committing to providing the highest quality coffee in the world, but also by staying committed and engaged to the customers and communities around the world, what they call doing business responsibly. As a matter of fact, Schultz was recognized by the Dean of the Columbia Business School and awarded the Botwinick Prize in Business Ethics for his long-term commitment to Starbucks employees, or partners as they are known, and to the community in which they work. While receiving this recognition, Schultz replied that his prize acknowledged the commitment of all 40,000 partners or employees who continually strive to enhance the lives of people throughout the world. Key phrases like commitment to employees and communities exemplify Schultz as one who is pursuing a call to serve through leadership. One example of how he serves his employees is the way he fought for their right to health care benefits even as part-time employees.
Also, employee relations were taken to the next level in 1990, when Starbucks became the first privately held company in North America to offer equity in the form of annual stock options eligible for full and part-time partners. Furthermore, when Howard became the head of the company, he vowed to leave no one behind, in memory of the life growing up, the son of a blue-collar worker. He feels that if people are treated like family, they will be loyal and give their all. As servant leadership dictates, this is definitely a demonstration of the commitment to growth of people. Schultz's theory must be right because the overall rating for partner engagement was 73%, placing them among the best in the world, as well as 82% of partners stating that they were satisfied or very satisfied with their Starbucks. On another note, Starbucks' commitment to environmental stewardship now has a new meaning for company partners with Schultz around. In past years, they have offered their partners a company-sponsored Earthwatch expedition, sending partners to work with Earthwatch's Institute's conservation scientists. Starbucks is also known for being committed to serving coffee that is ethically traded and even gives back to the communities that it sources from, looking to create a better future for farmers and a more stable climate for the planet.
Finally, we will discuss the organization culture of Starbucks. Starbucks possesses a strong culture with a consensus on the values that drive the company and with an intensity that is recognizable even to outsiders. It also has an adaptive organizational culture because the people, whether employees, as partners, or customers sharing their ideas, are so significant to the company. Starbucks launched the Mr. Starbucks Idea social networking site in March 2008, which customers play a role in shaping the company's future by having discussions and sharing their thoughts. This makes Starbucks known outside of the company and establishes a sort of emotional attachment and loyalty for its customers. Also, as mentioned earlier in the discussion of ethics, Starbucks has created a global organizational culture that is both an ethical culture as well as a culture of empowerment and quality. With the help of Conservation International, Starbucks has created its own ethical sourcing guidelines which they use in determining what is acceptable to purchase, along with the aid of the global responsibility managers of ethical sourcing. Not many companies can say that they have taken their ethical commitment to a level by actually hiring someone whose responsibility is to ensure ethical sourcing alone. Some of the locations they source from are Costa Rica, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, West Africa, India, and many other places. It was also under Schultz's leadership that the Ethos Water Fund was established, donating a portion of every purchase of its water in order to help raise awareness to the fact that more than 1 billion people in the world cannot get clean drinking water. So far, over 6 million have been granted to support water sanitation and hygiene education programs at water-stressed companies. Again, awareness is one of the several characteristics that a servant leader possesses. Let's see what others have to say about the ethics of Starbucks. We're here with
Barbara Bianchi and Lydia Dahl.
And how often do you guys go to Starbucks?
At least once a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes twice.
Sometimes more.
Does Starbucks be like an ethical company when you know about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they do like the Ethos water.
Yeah.
Like they always like have different like fundraisers and like you know that like when they're like serving drinks and stuff that like they have their coffee beans come from a regulated whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So it's like noticeable for customers that
Yeah.
they like
so.
care about the environment.
Definitely.
Alright, well, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say about Starbucks?
I could use a free gift card.
Yeah.
My bank account is breaking.
Under the leadership of Howard Schultz, Starbucks has created a global organizational culture that is both an ethical philosophy as well as a culture of empowerment and quality. It is a well-known fact that Howard Schultz was a leader that produced a profound change in all aspects of the company when he became a part of it, taking on countless risks to transform the company to what we know as Starbucks today. Schultz has had a level of success that many can only dream of, which he attributes to 4 principles. Quote, don't be threatened by people smarter than you. Compromise anything but your core values. Seek to renew yourself, even when you are hitting home runs and everything matters. Unquote.